live shows on Skype?
No, I usually do, like when I do live stuff, it's either Chaturbate or Onlyfans, or I do like one-on-ones on Snap.
Oh, one-on-ones on Snap and shit. That's cool. All right, so we're with Violet Ventur. You can find you on Instagram, and you got all your links on there, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So anyone wants to find you, they can find you through there. So what's your main do you have a main platform?
I would say that my OnlyFans is probably my main platform. I use Snap quite a bit as well, but OnlyFans is where I like to push it because I can upload higher quality stuff. Like you don't have to cut it up into minutes. So I prefer to do OnlyFans. It has too much storage space.
So yeah. You could upload as much as you want on OnlyFans, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So that's good, I guess. But I saw you have you got a free OnlyFans and a paid, right?
I do, yeah. And I've been playing with Fansly off and on, which is similar to OnlyFans, but it's a free and paid in one. So I have a bunch of options.
So like with the free OnlyFans and the paid OnlyFans, like how does that work? Like what's the plus and minuses of that?
The way that I run the free one is kind of like almost like a not safe for work Instagram, or any social media really. I just post kind of teasers for my main content, which I post over on the paid page. I usually refer to it as my main or my VIP, but I kind of use it to push people over that way. And then the other cool thing about having a free page is I could post, let's say, a GIF, a minute video, and a 10-minute video. And I could have the first two unlocked for a preview, but then have the other one with a price. So that in the same post, it's got a preview and then one you can unlock. So that's kind of cool. So it kind of gives people an option if they want to follow me and just buy as they see fit, or if they want to pay for the subscription that comes with all the bells and whistles, all the different content. My OnlyFans Premium, the one that's a subscription, gets most of my solo content for free, and then any additional things I do go out as a pay-per-view.
Oh, all right. So yeah. So do you have like certain fans that just like the free OnlyFans? Because I mean it's free, but it's not, right?
It just depends. Like it's free to just follow. Sometimes I use it just to send content. So if people want a custom, they will, hit me up on Instagram or Snap or whatever, even on the free OnlyFans. They can do that without having to pay to hit me up. And then because the videos tend to be so large, I can have them join the free OnlyFans if they're not already, and then send it to them that way. So I can make money that way. They can pay me on OnlyFans. And then the PPV is the pay-per-view is what I use to make money on there. But I definitely make more on my paid. It's much more fruitful because I have regular subscribers that are renewing every month and and I send a free video for every auto renewal.
Right.
So that's something that I think my fans really enjoy, because it's a free solo video every month with a $10 renewal.
Right. So do you? But is it worth it to do the free and paid subscriber?
I haven't. I'm really analytical, and I haven't looked at it super close. I think so because it's really helpful for me, at least, because my videos tend to be large size. I don't know what other people are doing, but when I use my phone, the videos can be 2 or 3 gigs. So that is why I really like having the free one, because I can say, listen, I don't have a way to send this to you. Join my free OnlyFans. I can send it to you that way. So I think it's been more useful that way than it has as far as pay-per-view content. Because I think there was a time, I think you had mentioned something about promos, like all promo, especially on Instagram, is scammy. And it absolutely tends to be. But for
Right.
a while, there were a lot of actual scammy and non-scammy people who did promos on free OnlyFans. So a lot of my followers are some of those accounts. So I don't make money off of those. It's you kind of have to filter things out. And I just
Well,
mostly use it for sending videos.
yeah, I guess as a camera, I guess it really only it pays off if it's bringing people over, right? And you like it's not taking up so much of your time, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely. It's not the free one I don't post on nearly as much. It's like I said, it's more of a update on what I'm doing on my other page. So I don't let it take too much of my time.
Right.
And with camming, I've gone more to doing like individual video calls. I still do live shows periodically. But for me, it's an attention span thing. Like if it's not popping, I just kind of lose interest. So I've learned if I can schedule it at a time where people can know to be there, or if it's 1-to-1, it's way easier for me.
Right. So that's OnlyFans, right?
OnlyFans, or it's weird because OnlyFans doesn't have like a 1-to-1. There's no private camming feature. So if somebody wants to do a video call, I have to use something else, which is something that I think they really lack. Fansly doesn't have it either, and they're pretty okay with sending people to Snapchat still, but OnlyFans is getting really funny about what they'll let you say and where they'll let you link people, and it's just gotten worse. So.
Yeah, it's funny you say that because I've noticed that with a lot of websites, not like X videos, for instance. X videos, they want no promotion of anything else except for X videos.
Yeah, it doesn't surprise me. It's I don't know why. I guess they think that it hurts their business somehow to cross, but I don't know. I'm a big fan of cross-platforming because it saves me a lot of time.
Right?
And,
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, it seems like
I like to be efficient.
Right. Yeah, because all this takes so much of your time, right? I mean, like you have how many platforms are you on?
Oh my gosh. If we're counting like social media, like safe for work and not safe for work channels, I probably have at least 8 things, maybe.
That's a huge amount. It's such a pain. Yeah, it's a pain in the ass. Because I was thinking about this because even just like doing like like YouTube or Twitch or whatever, not doing nudity, like like cutting down because like say you're on 8 platforms, right? Like does it take a lot of your time?
It does. That was part of why I stopped using Fansly for a while and just went back to free OnlyFans plus paid, because it was just too much to keep posting the same stuff, and I wasn't getting as many hits because people don't know. I mean, OnlyFans is a joke on the news. You know what I mean? Everybody knows what OnlyFans is. Not everybody knows Fansly, so there's just less of a network there. But it is time consuming, and making things is more time consuming than people realize too. So it does take a lot of time.
Yeah, definitely. Oh,
yeah,
and what?
It's definitely, if you want to make good money at it and get your name out, you really got to put in the time.
Ain't that the truth?
Yeah.
especially with adult content. I mean, because adult content is it's so difficult to get out there.
There's so much stigma, and they're constantly changing laws and trying to do things to suppress the content. I mean, there for a while, like Visa, I think it was, some of the major credit card companies didn't want to pay for people's like Pornhub accounts and stuff. So like that's part of why OnlyFans did the whole, we're not going to do adult content anymore.
Yeah, how'd that work out for them, right?
Yeah, it didn't. But there needs to be a place for it, for it to be safe. And I understand part of why they've been kind of cracking down on some things, but yeah, it's hard out there, and social media actively doesn't want us on the platforms unless we're like bringing in tons of followers. Like if you've got, 500,000 followers bringing in money for their app, it's different.
Right?
So.
Yeah. The rules, like the rules are already gray as they are.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, if you got like 500,000 followers, oh, it's okay if you do it. But for someone that has only like 1,000 or whatever, no, we don't need you. It's fucking bullshit.
Yeah, it makes it hard to grow. I'm actually, I saw, I don't know if it was your last episode or the one before that was about doing stuff without social media. I have to watch that. I haven't seen it yet. Was out of town this weekend, but I'm real curious about that one because I don't like social media a whole lot. So,
Yeah, I think, her name is Lily LeClaire on Instagram. You should hit her up. She's all about fucking, networking and shit.
Cool.
Yeah. Yeah, because if you could cut out social media, how great is that?
Yeah, that would be great because it's a fight on top of just having content to put out. Somebody's always losing an account. One of the things I've been working on is putting together like a how to navigate social media as a adult content creator and not get scammed because oh my god, and like just how to not lose your account. And if you do, what kind of things you can say to up your chances of getting it back. So, because so many people I know have lost like Instagrams and Facebooks and TikToks really, really, really strict.
Yeah. Oh my God, I can't stand TikTok. I was making voiceover videos from like the 50s, and I was just doing voiceovers on them, getting millions of hits. And then all of a sudden they all started getting banned for like hate speech and all this bullshit.
Somebody mass reporting?
Yeah, I don't even know. All of my stuff just started getting hit. Some of them are still up. So, but they were just like variations on them. So, I mean, TikTok is just garbage. Like you appeal it for all the platforms. You appeal stuff. You're not appealing to anyone. Nobody cares.
Yeah, for the most part, I did have a friend recently that got her Instagram back after it disappeared. And we were amazed that whatever we did worked. A couple of us sent messages and I threw in some, big scary words and I don't know what did it, but they gave it back. But it's scary when that happens as a creator. It was her entire portfolio.
I know how, like, I don't know what the word is. What was the word? Like demoralizing? Like, like you put all that time and effort into it and it's just gone.
Yeah, I'm pretty careful with my socials. That's the thing about like TikTok. They're the most strict, but for some reason, it's the one that I have that grows the most. So like, I'm almost at 10K on TikTok, but my Instagram is not even at 1,000, and I cannot grow organically. Like I have to there's a company that's a local in Virginia that does like promos and events and things. I do promos with them because I know they're legit. And that brings in people and sometimes networking and, one of my girlfriends and I work together, cross promotion and that kind of thing brings in, but they don't push my content, You can see it. You can see it's only followers, if you look at your analytics. So.
Right. And I was looking at you because your Instagram is like the stuff you're doing, like that's like top notch shit. And I know yeah, absolutely. Are you posting that stuff on TikTok? Because I didn't even realize you had a TikTok.
I do. I put some of my TikToks on my Instagram as reels, but I don't know. With TikTok, my photos and stuff I obviously don't put on there, but I try to promote without promoting. Like I'm pretty sure most of my TikTok followers know, that I have spicy content. And I've gotten a few people that I know have come from there to subscribe. But you have to be very careful. Lately, they've been kind of surprising me. I have like this sparkly bodysuit that's just ties in the back, and they let me post a transition video into that. And a lot of times you can get away with it if it's a bathing suit, but not if it's lingerie. So like, it's just seeing the patterns and knowing like what to avoid. I post a lot more videos on TikTok, but they're silly, you know.
Yeah, they got to be silly, or else, you know, it's sexualized in any way. And even when it's not sexualized, you get snagged for sexualization or whatever. It's absurd.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Absolutely. There's an adult content creator that has lost so many accounts, and she's had multiple accounts where she just talks literally like from here up is all you can see, but she talks about sex worker rights, and they have banned her multiple times over nudity, and she's like, I'm not. it's just you know, it's not quite that blatant on Instagram, but of course TikTok, they can kind of do whatever.
Yeah, TikTok is just complete. Unless you're posting like really, you know, like I was just gonna say, like, long as you're posting nothing that's, you know, has any kind of nudity. But even if you talk about it, you get snagged.
Mm-hmm. Which is annoying because they have OnlyFans filters and stuff. Like, there's a filter on there that spins and tells you how much money you would make on OnlyFans. But if you say OnlyFans, that video is not going anywhere. See, if it doesn't get taken down.
This shit's just pissing me off because all these platforms are so hypocritical. YouTube, because I didn't even realize this, but it's YouTube, you know, if you post anything sexual or anything like that, you're going to get age restricted. If you type in cam girls in the search bar, the first two paid promotion ads are for cam sites, for live cam sites. But, you know, like if you post something, you know, you're going to get either age restricted or just fucking taken down immediately.
Just because they make money off of the clicks on those banners. Yeah.
Yeah. it's so hypocritical, you know, like, because once you get age restricted on YouTube, you're screwed. It's not getting anywhere. You know, it's not getting searches.
Is it just per video? I don't use YouTube. Is that video or like the channel overall?
Both.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, YouTube sucks now. YouTube, I mean, it sucked for a long time. It's horrible, but it's just absurd. Like all the platforms are, you know, like where do you go? See, I'm just complaining now, like a fucking yenta and shit. Like,
I'll bring that out.
yeah, it's your fault, man. It's just so absurd. Like, you know, like you spend, like you were saying, like you spend so much time doing all this content and everything, and then like if your Instagram gets fucking taken down, like all that work is gone.
Yeah.
Do you save all your stuff that you make?
Oh yeah. Everything I have is, if it's either actively on my phone or it's backed up on my computer, or I even have, you know, external drives that, because my computer is not very big, so I have drives of content because I don't want to lose anything. I have not lost an Instagram. I lost a lot of TikToks when I first started TikTok, but that is my primary social. That's how most people find me. That's where my link lives, like my link tree. You know, it's in my bio, and yeah, that would be pretty intense.
Hey, just curious, do you know if like on Linktree they have do they have statistics where you can see like who's coming from where?
They have. I'm not sure if that's one of the statistics. It might be in the pay features, but you can see how many like clicks you get, how many click-throughs, and how many on each link.
Oh, so that's good at least. Yeah, that's good at least. Yeah.
I'm a big analytics person. Like that's what I did for a long time, so I like to use that as much as I can.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
That's important because that could
Mhm.
save you so much. Like, like we were saying about, all the, 8 different platforms. Well, if you're only getting, like if you don't got the time, maybe if you, like you pick your top 4 or top 3 or whatever, you
Yeah.
can, focus on them. That's why numbers are hugely important
Yeah.
for so many reasons, especially like just finding out where people are coming from, right? I mean,
Hmm.
yeah, people got to fucking pay attention to that shit. But so how did you get into camming? Like, did you
Oh
just
gosh.
one day wake up and be like, you know what? You know what I'm going to do today?
Kind
Yeah.
of.
Oh,
Kind of, but it was some drinking involved. Um, there's a club in the city that I was living, that's like a goth fetish industrial style club. And I came home all dressed up one night, a little tipsy. I felt real good about myself, and I was like, I'm gonna take a little video of me stripping and it's pictures in my underwear, whatever. And I was like, huh, that was fun. I'd done it here and there, but I was also coming off of a divorce and living by myself for the first time in a long time. So I just kind of started doing it for fun. It was a good boost for my confidence. I enjoyed it. I started on minicams. I actually have a couple people, gosh, because that was like 5 years ago. I have a couple people that still follow me from there, which is
holy
awesome.
5 years ago?
Yeah, I've been doing it for a little bit. That's why I have so much content. Because I did stop camming completely a couple times and just focused on making videos and pictures and things like that.
Oh, wow, that is 5 years because you're a veteran then because
Yeah, that's part of why I want to work on this thing to help other creators. I'm thinking of doing like a Discord that would have facts, and then they could ask questions if things change, and because stuff's always happening. I'm in a few groups with multiple models, and whenever there's new girls, they always have the same questions. But it's again, that's my attention span thing. I actually I have ADHD, and it absolutely affects getting work done, especially because it's all on my own. I'm my own boss in this. But
well,
yeah, I forgot what the question was.
So no, we were just talking about like how you started and everything, but
Oh yeah,
like with your Discord. So did you start your Discord yet, or is that your
not that one. I have a Discord that's linked with my paid OnlyFans, because there's so much stuff I can't do on OnlyFans, just because of their community guidelines. Even their stuff, they have you can't do anything that is public. So if you're like clearly somewhere private outside, you're good. But if it looks like you're somewhere out in public where you could be seen, they'll take it down. They got weird about, I like to do a lot of horror stuff. They got weird about some fake blood pictures I posted stating it was fake blood. Again, that's part of why I have Fansly as well, because I could post that stuff there for people who like it. I don't make it, but there's other kinds of content that they don't allow either. I won't get into the details, but unless you want me to. But I know we have to keep it semi-safe for work.
Yeah, I know, man. That's why I'm so sick of like, like I thought like you could just talk about anything. Like for podcasts, like podcasting platforms, luckily podcasting platforms, they don't care. You could talk about anything, which is good, absolutely. But all these other platforms, like they all have different rules. Like it's so absurd. Like
it is. Yeah, because you can definitely like I said, a lot of the pictures I post, I couldn't get away with on TikTok, so I post them on Instagram. But then, and I swear, Instagram lulls us into a false sense of security just so they can crack down harder. They've done it 2 or 3 times. Like, that's why I try really hard not to break the rules, even if I see other people doing it a lot. Because they can at any time be like, oh yeah, I know we let you do it, but now we're cracking down.
So. Right. I like that idea of pointing people to your Discord, because then in Discord you could literally do anything, right? I mean,
yes, yeah. So I post, for any sales. any kind of content that they wouldn't let me have on there. Yeah, there's a few pros to having that, and I prefer it over like Snapchat because everything disappears in Snapchat unless you save it. I'm actually not a big fan of Snapchat, but it's a good place for business. So.
That's why I keep hearing. I hate Snapchat. Snapchat's, to me, it's annoying. Maybe because, you know, I'm not young and wet behind the ears, so I don't know, you know, but I can't stand, right? I don't know. I just can't stand Snapchat. But a lot of people use it, so, you know.
Yeah, Heather actually got me onto it and kind of taught me how to do it right, but it's a lot. And if you're not, and because stuff disappears, if you sell like your premium private stories to someone or whatever, I've been told multiple times that I'm not posting enough because there's like not content 24/7. And I'm like, look, if you want something that doesn't disappear, I got options.
Right. Yeah.
So
what? So like, if you like, is it going out to like random people or is it just your followers?
The Snapchat?
Yeah.
It's so weird. There's like multiple ways you can send things. I don't send snaps like to groups, but I know you can. For me, it's like I set some things that go out to anybody or put it on like the Snap map so that it can be seen based on locality. But it has to be safe for work because you can get recorded. Then there's like your friends list, and then there's private stories. So I keep people who are previewing my private or considering buying content. I keep people on my friends list for a little while. And then if they don't buy the premium and get a preview, ask for a menu, whatever, I just boot them eventually after a couple weeks. So that's like my platform where if you're not a buyer, I'm going to remove. But that's the only one I do that with. And again, that was advice that was given to me. So it's what I do.
Yeah, it works though.
Private story is the sales part, or they can buy other things. I do like dance requests and things like that over Snapchat because it's quick and easy.
Yeah, and you said it works.
When somebody wants a 10-minute custom, I'm like, we got to go so I can send it on OnlyFans. So, because that kind of stuff, like I don't like downgrading the quality of my stuff just so it'll go through Snapchat.
Right. Oh yeah, that's what I wanted to ask you. You said earlier about your videos or whatever are like 3 gigs. Like, why are they 3 gigs? Is it because you're like in HD or whatever? Or
I actually haven't shot in like any super high quality. I mean, it's good quality, but I didn't even realize my phone was doing that high. It was not a surprise with my camcorder, or not, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Camcorder, it's digital, but right. The video camera always did really large files. And then in the conversion process, a lot of times they would just end up bigger. So the ones on my drive, I think in my Google Drive, which is what I sell content off of if it's not on OnlyFans, I have like 500 gigs of shit. Like, just because the videos can be long, 10, 20 minutes.
Oh, okay. All right.
Some of them are, yeah. And that's part of, I think, why I clash with Snap a lot is because people come in expecting content constantly, but it's like clips of just random solo, or some people do more than that on there, but it's not. I don't know. I don't.
Oh yeah, because
try to be PC. I don't like the. It's like fast food. Like, if you want something quick and simple, Snapchat's great. But if you want me to do a quality cosplay custom, or an actual boy-girl video or something, it's going to be quality. And so it's not going to send on Snapchat or anywhere really because it's large.
Right. Snapchat is more like short form videos.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I have seen people sell, like, they'll set up a private story for one night and sell like a sex show or something, but I've never done that. Um, I just, again, Snap's not my preferred, but it does bring in, and it's better than OnlyFans in that it doesn't take 20%. So,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I like the Discord thing. I think I would, because like you could point, but people are lazy though, right? I mean, like, do you have people that like go to your different platforms? Like your people on like OnlyFans, will they ever go to any other platforms that you're on, or they just like stay?
I have a lot of people that are on multiple. Some people I feel like pop on OnlyFans, and the way my OnlyFans, is set up is that it's $5 if it's your first month, and then the rebill is $10. So people sign up, it doesn't automatically put them in rebill because it's a different price. But a lot of people do rebill and some don't. It just kind of depends. Like I said, I've got the one guy I think it's two that have been following me since MFC, which has been a long time. And then others that came from like Chaturbate and stuff, which was the next platform I moved to. OnlyFans, I don't even know if OnlyFans is a thing when I started camming. But
yeah, probably not for maybe for cam girls, but I thought that was so crazy. Like OnlyFans wasn't even for like cam girls. It was like, for random for whatever you do. I was like, holy shit, that's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah.
And cam girls took it over, rightly so, because
because Patreon and they wouldn't let us do it. They're so whatever. I guess that's OnlyFans and Patreon kind of came out. Like OnlyFans was a little after, I feel like. So I believe that probably had something to do with it.
Yeah, fucking Patreon. They I don't know. They're annoying with that because they're like, oh, you can't you can post certain sexual things, but not not full sexual things. And it's like, again, with rules.
It could be art, but it can't be porn.
Yeah, like I could post like for my the other thing I do. I play games that nudity and all that, but it's cartoon stuff. You know what I mean? That they're fine with that. You could post completely visual, sexual, banging, whatever, but it's cartoonish, so it's okay.
Where is that?
On Patreon.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
Yeah. There's like, you ever see these visual, like visual novels?
Yeah.
Well, there's like, really sexual visual novels that, they look real as fuck, but, and Patreon's fine with posting that shit.
Wow.
So it's like, what's the difference? Like, a few pixelation difference, and you have realism. You know what I mean? Like you have real people. It's absurd.
It is. It's very strange.
Yeah. Fuck them though. What? So, do you get a lot of creeps?
Oh, the creeps.
Yeah, I love creeps.
I do too. It's another thing that I have that I want to put in the Discord is like how to just not engage. Like the red flags. It's pretty easy to tell who's going to be shitty within a few exchanges. Lots of unsolicited pictures, things like that. You would think that in this day and age that it wouldn't be, but it is. I like it when they do it on Snap because you can see when somebody screenshots it. So that's the first thing I do is screenshot it, tell them I'm going to post it, and then block them. So like, I have no patience for that kind of shit. Like, I don't know that, and like the sugar daddy scammers.
I was just going to say that because I just got a sugar daddy last night,
and then that makes people think that like I'm not legit, because they're like, oh, well, everybody that does this stuff is fake, and oh, are you gonna scam me? And I get it, but yeah, you gotta kind of pick a line of where you're gonna entertain, and then just cut it off because certain people will just not. They either want things for free. My favorite is, hey, do you want some help making content? And I'm like, bro, just and it's
Wild.
awesome because 9 times out of 10, I'll be like, yeah, sure, I just need you to sign a release and give me a copy of your ID for OnlyFans. And they're like, oh, never mind. Like, well, what did you think? Like,
Yeah,
that's
just,
illegal. Yeah.
yeah.
It's funny. Sometimes it's not as funny because it takes up more of my time than I'd like, but it's usually, I actually made a TikTok about it the other day where I was talking about taking scammer screenshots because I use them to teach other people what to look for.
Yeah, definitely. That's a great idea, man. Yeah, my wife started doing that. You know, because and those are for how many? Because even just like regular girls, they get all these. Do you like? You must get like an influx of these guys, right?
Yeah, and anytime I do anything that brings in new followers, especially to Instagram, I get a ton. So, one of the things that I tell people to do right away is there's this little feature if you've got a business account called Saved Replies, and you just type out a little business. Hey, thanks for responding. Let me know if you have questions about booking your content, and then you can just click it and it'll auto send. So like a lot of times I send that and then I don't hear anything else. So, I used to be very like, I don't answer haze. Like, but then I was told that I was I didn't have good customer service. So I decided to set that message so that at least I'm responding.
Oh my God, I could not stand that shit when you get the hey, how you doing?
Mm-hmm.
Like no,
my FetLife profile basically, like I stopped using FetLife personally, and again I was told use it to advertise, and it's very literally like do not message me unless you are booking, buying, or tipping. Like I'm not going to answer. Message me somewhere else. Like I feel like you have to set that, especially when you have 8 to 10 platforms, you can't be answering messages constantly everywhere, or your time that you're putting in is going to be way off because the conversion rate.
Exactly. Yeah. That's why. Yeah, because I hear a lot of newer girls like they're afraid to like do that kind of stuff, but you have to. I mean, especially the guys that are buying from you, they understand it's a business, like it's a business transaction, like
Yeah.
right? It's fuck them. Like dude, like you don't have time for this bullshit. Like
No.
I don't know, man. I just get that shit just annoys me. I don't know. I'm just in a bad mood, I guess, because I'm annoyed by everything. but
okay.
you so you've been doing this for 5 years now. So like has like your like was there like a gradual boost in your income, and did you did you find like what did you find that worked for you? Was it a certain platform or certain things you did?
I honestly, since I started using Snap, I've been getting a lot more of like Cash App payments, for content, paying direct sales. That's been really good. And that was kind of right off the bat, but part of it was I started it on my birthday month. And like a lot of people they like to tip you on your birthday. So that was I saw a spike across all my platforms on my birthday. But you gotta push, hey, it's my birthday, spoil me. You gotta play it up. But it's been up and down. I'd say honestly, since I've been working, I worked as a behavior analyst for a while. And since I have retired from that, I have one client that I see for like 4 or 6 hours. And the rest of my week is this and school. So I have more time now. And since I've had more time to commit to it, it's been better income. But you do have to be, it's hard to find a rhythm. I feel like a lot of times, because I've been up where I've had a ton of subscribers, but then they drop because they don't auto renew. And then you got to kind of push to get, so it's like two metrics. It's how many are you getting in and how many are you retaining. That free video every month, I feel like really helped with the retention. Because I try to send out, good stuff. It's not, junk.
So is it almost like you're like, like something, whatever it is, something works, and then, those guys, for whatever reason, they go away, and just like any platform, and then you got to do something else, and something else works, and like it's like a, what do you call that, like, I guess for like YouTubers, for instance. Yeah, like, someone, you put out a video and something pops and fucking goes into search engines, and, you get new people, but then they, they're like, I'm not that big of a fan. So they leave, and then you do something else, and like it keeps going as like a cycle.
Yeah. I found that cosplay, for my demographic, is a big thing, at least. I've been trying to do more like crowd sourcing info, like, hey, what should I do? What do you like? Polls on OnlyFans. Sometimes oh my God, the participation is like pulling teeth, though, especially like on Instagram. I'll see like 50 people saw it and like 3 people will vote. Well, some of y'all are my friends. Why are you not participating?
Right.
But yeah, I did a classic, like, Hinata from Naruto. I can't pronounce these things. I'm so bad at speaking.
Naruto?
Naruto.
No. Oh, damn! You said it all properly.
Because if I can't.
Oh yeah. Well, I can't speak myself, so I just like. But yeah, so you do a lot of like anime cosplay?
That was my second anime. My husband's actually more into anime. I haven't gotten into it as much, but that was one that he suggested doing. I did another character from there, but it was a gender bend. But she brought in a lot of new people. Whenever I promote my Leia cosplay videos, people come in. I try not to do it too often, though, because then it like loses its
charm.
Yeah. So like May the 4th, that's a big day that I promote my Leia video, because it's May the 4th be with you. I don't know if you're a big nerd too or not, but
right. I don't know. No, I'm not. I'm oblivious to a lot of things. So.
Well, my nerd culture is kind of my demographic. It's just because I'm super nerdy, and I'm into all that stuff, and play D&D, and music. I like to get people in who have similar music tastes. That's more fun for me, because then they request songs for dances, and I get to have a lot more fun with it.
Do you do any shit from the 90s?
Oh, the 90s is where I live.
Oh, good. Oh, yeah. I was gonna say like 90s R&B.
Yeah, I don't think I've done any R&B from the 90s yet.
That's the
I'm
shit.
a big grunge metal head, so that kind of stuff.
So I'm thinking, because like in the like in the 90s R&B is like, so the interludes, like you have a 3-minute song and you got like a right in the middle you got an interlude, like what the fuck you on that?
Usher or somebody.
Usher, yeah. Yeah, like all that shit was hilarious. R. Kelly.
Man. Yeah, I loved all that stuff. I anything from the 90s I will pretty much rock to.
Yeah. I don't know. I always just found 90s R&B hilarious. Like, like how sexual it was.
Oh, yeah. I can't remember. Never mind. It's like that. Somebody said something about it being fucking music, some kind of fucking music.
Fuck music, yes. Yeah, 90s R&B was fuck music.
Yes.
Right? Like it's the greatest, I think.
I mean, Pony, Genuine.
Right?
How could... Yeah.
Hell yeah, there's so many classic 90s R&B that fucking, now people think it's like cringy and shit, but...
Oh, yeah.
I don't fucking care. R. Kelly, nobody. Oh, you can't talk about R. Kelly anymore, right? Like, come on, man. His shit.
How good is Remix to Ignition though, for real?
It is. I play that shit in my head all the time, right?
Yes.
Like, all right. So we peed on some underage girls. All right, whatever. That has nothing to do with music, right?
Mm-hmm.
Come on, man. We can. I think we can. Aren't we all adults? We can separate that shit.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Right.
I would think.
Yeah. Well,
people are not adults.
Yeah, no, not in this woke culture. But well, I won't say anything about that. You know, that's can't talk about them. They'll cry, and it's a whole thing.
Yeah.
Oh, all right. Do you cam while you're on your period? I know it's a random question, but some people have been, you know.
I don't like to make content when I am, but I also take medicine to like skip it most months.
Oh, so it's not an issue for you.
Yeah, so it's not. Nah.
Yeah, because like I see on Reddit, that's a big fucking cam girl problems. You ever go to that thing? I always like seeing what cam girls, you know, like what they're. Oh, you should. Yeah, I mean, it's a good, you know, because they have some, you know, like that. Because I never, that never occurred to me, like, because you know, obviously, I don't have periods.
Some places don't allow it.
That's true. Yeah.
Like,
where can you?
No blood means no menstrual blood. Like that's, to me, that's sexist as fuck. Like what? Nobody's being injured. There's no violence.
Yeah, no, I know it's completely absurd. Like, who cares? Like, all right, so you know, because I mean, I guess that could go into those weird fetishes. But there's so, you know, there's a lot of weird fetishes. Ooh, what's the weirdest thing, you know, like people have asked you to do?
Oh gosh,
too many, right?
Well, I kind of.
What's even weird though? Like, you know,
I don't know.
like,
so I'm not into like. I've definitely had somebody ask for me to like defecate on video. I didn't do that, but it also was kind of like he wasn't really legit either. But I that's not really up my alley. And another guy that wanted me just to fart in his face.
Fart in your face? I'll do that for free for anyone that wants it. You know, I'll do that. That's no big deal.
I don't get that many weird requests. I get a lot of like role play type things. But
it is like is cosplay, like, is that your wheelhouse? Like, is that your thing?
I wouldn't say it's
or just
entirely
something you do.
It's just part of it.
Right.
Yeah, I enjoy it. I really like it, but I also like to do, you know, lingerie and, you know, regular outfits and stuff. The whole dress up aspect is fun.
Is that like your favorite thing to do?
Yeah. I actually really enjoy making custom content because of the, you know, variety of it. Also decisions, like I get decision fatigue. So sometimes I have 100 lingerie things I could wear, but I just don't know I can't pick one, you know, so I can pull out something that I know somebody wants or a custom I need to work on, you know. But yeah, no, I really like to do those the most because it's like a lot of times it's very specific and I like the feedback. Like, you know, when I send somebody a video that I've really put some effort into and they're like, yeah, that's exactly what I wanted. I love it. It's great.
You ever get
fun? The characters are fun.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I get to do different things because I'm kind of a lazy, grungy goth girl. And, you know, sometimes I'm a redheaded schoolgirl or a blonde at the beach, you know, so.
Yeah. It's like you're an actress.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah. I don't do it live because I can't. It's too much pressure. But if I can record it, or I do it live on video. But I don't. Yeah, I was an actress in high school, but then I got scared.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. You still get like even when you're recording anything, do you get nervous? You get
I do. Yeah,
yeah.
I do. I'm actually not hugely social myself. But yeah, I get nervous. A lot of it is because I'm afraid it's not going to be what they want. But I've never really had anybody come back and say, "Oh my God, what is this? This isn't what I wanted." It's just, I like to make sure I'm satisfying my customers. So, it's just a business thing, really.
Yeah. Yeah, but I mean, I think that's huge. Like, because people think like, oh, eventually the nerves will go away. Not always. I mean, you've been doing it 5 years. Have the nerves like maybe you're more comfortable doing it, but the nerves haven't gone, right?
No, and especially if I'm going live, like, or doing a video call, because you can't edit that, and sometimes I say stuff that's stupid. I mean, we all do.
Absolutely, yeah.
So you can't cut that out when you're live, but I work that into my prices too. I often tell people if they're like, "Hey, can we do like a MILF mommy video call?" And I'm like, "We could do a video call, or I could make you a custom for like $10 less. It'll take some time. It won't be live. Better." Uh-oh. What happened? You still there?
Yeah, yeah.
Did your screen flash?
It did, yeah.
I don't know what that was. But yeah, it's just more comfortable for me. So if it's something I don't want to do, I charge more. It's more of an effort.
Right, yeah. And that's probably something some people should remember is like, don't be afraid to charge more, especially if it's something that you don't want to do.
Yeah.
Right? Do you ever feel like pressure to do, especially now? Because like maybe in the beginning, like how was it in the beginning compared to now? Like, do you feel pressure to, make something that maybe you don't feel comfortable doing?
Yeah, it's happened, but it's more if somebody contacts me and says, "Hey, I want this," if I'm not comfortable with it, I don't do it. However, I've had some situations where someone has like gifted me something, and occasionally I'll say, "Hey, if you buy me something off my wish list, I'll do double value rewards or something." And I've had that happen, and then had somebody ask for something that I wasn't super comfortable doing, and then I kind of feel obligated. But it's not, if it's something I'm really uncomfortable with, I would still say like, no, and you have all these options. I'm not super uncomfortable with a lot of things. I mentioned I don't do crap and piss content, but
what
do
they do, but I was just talking to someone about that. Like once you do that, like you're like you're the pee girl or you're the poop girl, right? Mm-hmm. I mean,
but OnlyFans, that's another thing they don't allow.
That's good, at least I think that's good. That's a good one.
Yeah, I followed a girl for a while that offered that kind of stuff, and she had like, you can't even say pee or piss on OnlyFans. Like she had to say it was like P1SS or something.
It's that shit pisses me off. That for all platforms, like we all like what's the big thing on all the platforms about suicide? You can't say suicide. Yeah, you can't say kill yourself. But what do people usually say? Like not off yourself. Fuck, what is it?
Unalive.
Unalive. Yes, we all know what we're talking about here. Why? What's the difference?
I don't know.
That shit pisses me off.
Me too.
Well, it's just so stupid. It's like we all know what we're talking about killing yourself.
Yeah.
But unalive. Wow, that's so much better. You're still talking about the same exact thing.
You would think they'd work it into the algorithm after a certain point too, but I don't know. Maybe it's a liability or something.
Yeah, it's just so fucking stupid. It's like they're still talking about the same thing. You're just using a different word for it. Well, what's going to happen? Like you just said about the algorithm, what's going to happen when they start clamping down on that? Then they're going to go to another word, and then what? Another word after that, and what's going to happen to language eventually?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Can't say anything.
Language is already doing weird things.
It's absurd, because I was thinking, I don't know, I was like, like, you ever get high and just like think of the, like what's going to happen like in the future and shit. And like,
Yeah, a couple times a day.
Oh God, I freak myself out with that stuff, like what's going to happen with cam girls in like, like fucking 50 years from now? Like what's that going to be like,
Well,
but,
I like virtual reality and AI is doing so much crazy shit. It's a little
I was
scary.
Yeah, I was just
as somebody who works online primarily.
I know, yeah. I mean, soon you're gonna have like, because they have those, the devices that you could put on your dick, and like, like if you could suck whatever the fuck you're supposed to suck, and it feels like it on your dick, like shit like that. That's gonna be crazy. You're gonna have to invest. People are gonna have to invest money into this. That might weed out like the people that aren't, so like invested in it.
That's true.
So maybe that's a good thing.
Yeah, that could be cool. Because it's a lot of pushing like some kind of connection, because or like realness, because otherwise you could just go somewhere free. You know what I mean? It can't just be about the sexy aspects of things, unless it can't for me. For some people it probably could, but I got an alternative look, and so it's a little bit different. My demographic is a little narrower, honestly. But oh my gosh, I just totally derailed myself.
Well, no, but with that's good though.
What I was talking about.
Well, wait, because I want to just go off on this. The like, like that's important. Like, because if you just do everything, like you're not gonna have, like what, like who's your audience? Like, isn't that important though? Like who your audience is, like because if you just do everything, then you're not really gonna have an audience, right? They're just gonna be like, oh, this one's just like this one, so who cares? She's expendable. I don't fucking need to pay her.
It's one of the most important things you can do trying to sell adult content is pick a niche. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Sure. Or a couple niches. Just, narrow it.
Right. Yeah. Because if you try to do everything, you're not going to be able to do anything. Right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
See, people need to fucking remember that shit. Because I think because I hear a lot of, especially in that Reddit, like people, they're trying to do everything, trying to appeal to everyone. You can't appeal to everyone.
Mm-mm. Nah, and somebody's always going to have shit to say. There's in any number, in any group, statistically, there's going to be some asshole. Just ignore that asshole. Like,
exactly.
I mean, doing this kind of work's got it hinges a lot on self-esteem and confidence and things like that. And like a lot of times it's you got to push it, fake it till you make it. But like, you also, I don't know. I have issues with my confidence from time to time, but at the same time, I know not to let those people like trolls, like, especially if you're on TikTok or something, you're going to get so much just stupid. Like, you have to learn how to ignore it. Like, really do. There have been a few girls who are newer that burned out because they just wanted to please everybody. Like, you got to say no. If any job, you have to say no at a certain point. You can't just keep doing it.
Right.
Especially if it's beyond what you're comfortable with.
Yeah, definitely. All right, the last thing we need to talk about is like mental health, because you brought it up, like your mental health, like how do you keep from, like with the trolls, like how do you keep, like, of course, like ignore it. Like me, I can't ignore shit. I have to fucking go off on people. That's just, I don't know. It's just in my DNA. I guess.
Do that sometimes too. Usually it's not. I don't know. Certain things get me at certain times. I do that too. But like trolls, especially, I don't know.
Like just say,
you look at it, it's just like sad. Like, you just have to remember that they just want attention. And most of the time, like, I don't know, for me personally, and I don't know that I would recommend it, But I fuck with them. Like, you know, if somebody's the sugar daddy scammers, I'll just lead them on. Like, whatever. I got time. You know, I got time. I don't got, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's beneficial because then I can get those screenshots too. But yeah, that's I like to mess with people. That's part of how I deal with it.
So you get a little enjoyment out of it, messing with them.
Yeah,
yes.
Sometimes. Mm-hmm. Especially if it's somebody that says something that's just wrong, or, you know, I used to be real active politically online. So I've been through my fair share. Like when I joined Twitter, I was real political, and I was like, this is not, I need to get the hell out of here, because I was just fighting constantly. You have to let that shit roll off your back. My biggest thing is there are times where I just have to not work, and it's hard because everything's on my phone. So I have at times set, Instagram might have it, but I know TikTok has where you can set screen limits on yourself. Yeah. Social media, I suggest doing it at like a certain time. Don't just be on there all the time. That's the kind of thing that will wear you down. Always remember that there are filters. You know, like, don't compare yourself to somebody that's got a filter, because that's a big thing that, like, it's been proven that Instagram fucks with people's self-esteem. You know, like, you have to know that and go in, like, telling yourself, this is something that's going to happen and I gotta be aware of it. But just in general too, I listen to a lot of music, like just general kind of self-care. You can't neglect self-care either. But my biggest thing is limiting. I think limiting the amount of time that I put into, especially conversations, like going back and forth with people who haven't paid me. You know, like trying to make conversions, where I've put it at a certain point. Like if you don't buy by X time on Snap, you're gone. You know, like that kind of thing. It seems bitchy, but it's really just taking care of yourself and being business minded. And I feel like that is hard for a lot of people to remember that they are trying to do it's a business transaction. And I know that takes some of the sexy out of it. But if you haven't paid me to be sexy with you yet, it's transactional right now. Like, we're talking about it, we're planning it. But if you have no intention of paying me, I'll know by 5 or 10 minutes in. And yeah, that's again part of why I've just been trying to tell people, you know, these things and want to get that Discord running for creators. Because that shit is so important, and self-care is so important, and just, it is hard. It's really hard on your mental health sometimes. You know, I've definitely had times where I get dressed up, get ready to make content, and then I'm just like, nah. You know, and when that happens, like, let it happen and don't beat yourself up. Because everybody has bad days.
Ain't that the truth? Yeah, well said. Well said. Especially, I really like what you said about that. Like, you know, like when you're trying to make a conversion, like that's gotta get demoralizing. Like after a while, like you keep trying, it's not working. You start fucking like, oh God, this shit isn't working. Then you keep going, and it just isn't happening. Like that's gotta beat you down eventually.
It does. And there's a lot of, honestly, I invested in Canva at the suggestion of a girl in one of my Snap groups. And I make flyers so that I can just send people. So like if somebody's like, hey, I'm interested in booking, I can just send them a picture instead of having to chit chat. And again, like that flyer, for example, has prices, and then it says like what dates, like when I'm generally available, what my deposit is, and what I accept, which is Cash App. You know, so it saves so much time just having graphics, and people are more apt to like look at the graphics and read them than they are the words anyway. So I guess that's another way I probably help my mental health, is just minimizing the crud that you have to deal with from people that are wasting your time.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that all makes sense. That's good. So, like, just real quick, you said about your Snap group, like you talk to other girls in the business, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, what on Snap on?
It's something that is newer to me. I have a couple groups on Snap and a group on Instagram. But Heather is someone that got me into that, and I hadn't been able to really find a network locally. She lives closer to the city near where we are. Like, she lives closer to Richmond, and she's very extroverted. I am not.
Right.
I'm not. It's a lot more work sometimes, and the networks. So it's like buyer groups where we bring in buyers, and we also talk to each other about people who have scammed us. It's so, like, on Snapchat, for example, there'll be a model group and a buyers group for the same group, so that we can talk. We can say, this person's done this, done that, buys well. And then it's also been super helpful for me because I don't know Snapchat. And these people that have been in the groups have, like, the flyers thing that I picked that up from a group. Somebody was like, hey, I use Canva. These are the things I make. It's like, those are awesome. So it is important to network. I learned a lot, even being in this field for 4 years, I guess, before I really started networking with other creators. If you can, it's been a huge burst for me.
Sure, I bet,
yeah.
man. So how does one get into these Snap groups?
I am not a big adder to the groups. So I'm not 100% sure. I know for me it was, I met Heather through a mutual friend, and we worked together, and she invited me in. She does that kind of thing on the regular. I don't. And I haven't really met any new creators since I started doing groups. So I haven't had anybody to bring in. As far as buyers, getting into buyer groups, it's usually just people who have been consistent and reliable and legit in the past. It's like our way of being like, hey, you have been good to me. We have a good relationship. Join this group with all my friends who also are legit, because it's so scammy.
Right.
So that's part of it, is a lot of protection, and we share buyers when we can. And it's kind of nice because it's not like, you would think it would be a lot more competitive. But it doesn't have to be. Yeah, it's really cool to learn from other creators and kind of cool resources.
And that's who I always say this. Everyone that I meet that is that just like that has that attitude is successful. The ones that are fucking like, oh no, it's a competition. I don't want to give away my secrets, this and that. They always fucking burn out and they're nowhere to be seen. I've seen it myself. So that is important. Don't be a bitch. And that's not just with camming. That's with everything. YouTube, Twitch, like, don't be a fucking little bitch. Share. Like, we all win. Nobody's the same. Like like you and Heather, for instance. You're two different people. Like, you're not in competition, right? I mean, exactly. That's what people got to remember.
We bring each other in on gigs and stuff all the time. Like, yeah,
exactly. See,
and if you do it right, it gets you more sales. I mean, first of all, people love girl content, and the party's always better when there's more, I guess. So sometimes it really helps, and I have not missed out on anything from collaborating and sharing. Like, I have done nothing but gain from it. So it's great.
That's right. It's like Vanilla Ice said, collaborate and listen.
Yes.
That's it. Just listen to Vanilla Ice and, it'll help you be successful.
True.
Exactly, man. Vanilla Ice knows. So, yeah. So thanks so much for doing this. I think, I always learn a lot. So I'm sure other people learn a lot. So that's always good.
Awesome. Yay.
So, yeah, absolutely. So where can we find you? Give it out.
My main social is Instagram. I'm Violet _Ventur 2.0. But honestly, if you just Google Violet Ventur, you will find me. I have lots of things out there that I didn't even know were there, like content I made and put out, but places I didn't know that even existed. So you can find me. I'm pretty easy to find.
Yeah, links are all in description.
With no E. So.
Yeah, links are all in descriptions and everything. I always do that. But yeah, that's another thing. People, I always fucking say this, do a name or whatever that is very unique. So that way, if someone wants to fucking Google you, they can find you easily.
Yeah, and if you use the same name and that kind of stuff, that brand consistency is important, just like it is anywhere else.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's it. So go check out Violet Ventur on Instagram, and of course you'll find all of her stuff, or just Google her. Then you really find all of her stuff.
Yeah, you find better stuff if you Google me than go to Instagram.
Oh, time to Google. I'm going to Google then.
Sweet.
All right. Thanks so much. I appreciate it.
You too. Thanks. Have a good one.
You too. Take care.